This is an awesome group of young leadership, not so young leadership, but you're obviously the next generation.
BusinessJournalDaily.com 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Who's the only local bank with a mobile mortgage app? Farmers. Download the app to contact your lender, calculate payments, securely scan and upload documents, and check the status of your loan. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal, Farmers.
We will start the discussion going around the table, and I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, your organization, tell a little bit about yourself briefly, and also the type of leadership that you are endeavoring to provide in the community. So let's start with Jacob. Jacob is from, well, tell us.
Sure. My name's Jake Rickert. I'm the Director of Workforce Development at Penn-Northwest Development Corporation. We're located over in Mercer County, Pennsylvania. My quick background, I grew up in Greenville, Pennsylvania, stayed within the county my whole life, excluding 4 or 5 years for military service. I lived out in Colorado. My day-to-day work, we actually created a program we call the Homegrown Initiative to help retain young adults in our area. And on top of that, it's all led purely by other young adults, which we call the future leaders. It's young men and women that act as the guiding body for all the decisions we make to help further retain young adults, whether they grew up there or came here for education purposes.
Thank you. Paige.
Hello, everybody. I am Paige Genova. I am a pelvic floor occupational therapist, but I am the founder of Vital Pelvic Health and Wellness, which is a pelvic floor clinic, a rehabilitation clinic in Poland, Ohio. I grew up in Columbiana, so outside of my schooling and my grad degree and everything, I have come back to the Youngstown area because I really felt strongly that we needed better healthcare here, specifically pelvic healthcare. And so my clinic exclusively treats pelvic floor dysfunction, and so that's pretty different for this area. Most rehab clinics are sort of the traditional rehab clinic that you've probably seen before. So we're very different from that, and it was purposeful. And I hope to continue to grow my clinic to be able to reach more people and to really establish ourselves as the area leader so that people don't have to travel far for really great world-class healthcare. Provide better jobs for therapists because the streets are tough out there in healthcare. Good jobs for therapists and other people who are passionate about helping people.
Sure. Nico.
I'm Nico Morgione, Associate Director for Business Development and Industry Partnerships with Youngstown State University's College of STEM. Born and raised in the Mahoning Valley, currently living in Canfield, and grew up, went to Ursuline High School, went to YSU for my undergrad and my master's. And the leader that I want to be, and I think I would imagine most of us, I'd like to be a leader that people can look to who are also young adults, young professionals in this region and say, I don't need to move away. I can live here. I can get a good job. I can do X, Y, and Z. And I think that there's a lot that we'll dive into to really showcase that. Additionally, I play in a local band, so that's a lot of fun. And I'm very passionate about this area, this region, and I think we're on a great path, and the best is yet to come. So.
My name is Levi Smith. I am a budget administrator at Youngstown State University. I work with the Honors College, the Office of Community Engagement, and the Trumbull Institute for Leadership and Teamwork. Through that and growing up working in my family's fields, my 100% goal is servant leadership. So I also have a couple companies that I run, and I try to lead by demonstration and always cheer my team on from the back. That's what I do. And then the Trumbull Institute for Leadership and Teamwork is a leadership and teamwork institute teaching soft skills to students to help them understand the things they need to be prepared to live in today's world outside of their curricular education.
Hi, my name is ShoMoré Wright. I'm formerly a regional liaison with the Ohio Secretary of State Office, Frank LaRose, and now I work for Canvas America. Previously, in my role as a regional liaison, I was in charge of 12 counties, Board of Elections, Chamber of Commerce, Youth at the Booth, helping out there to get young people engaging in voting. I definitely learned from being in the office for 5 years that transparency is very important. And I think that's the type of leadership that I want to continue to provide. Honest, clear, open, honest. Am I forgetting anything? Besides that, I also am a yoga instructor. So after this, if anyone needs to relax, you know where to find me.
Shea MacMillan with Platz Realty Group, where we solely focus on commercial and industrial real estate. We're very ingrained in the Mahoning Valley and have been growing into Ashtabula, Columbiana, and a bit of Portage. And what Platz offers is not just a brokerage that markets very well, but you're really getting a partnership and a group that has been very invested in the community for decades, and really happy to be a part of that team. In my former role at the Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber, I was the Vice President of Economic Development, where I was able to collaborate with some really impressive people, a lot of people at this table in workforce development, project management, and industrial projects. I was able to help facilitate site selection for Altium cells and help navigate incentives for the Macy Distribution Center in North Jackson.
Very good. Kaneesha.
My name is Kaneesha Ellen Tensley. I am a police officer with Boardman Police. Essentially, the type of leader I want to be is very like an opportunist type of a leader. I always want everyone to be able to know that you have other choices. A lot of things that I find with the younger generation is that they feel like I can only do this. And one of my goals is to let you know that, no, you can do more than only. You can do anything. So I want to be that motivation for them. A little background, I enjoy making rugs. It's considered tufting. I have my 9-year-old son, so I'm also a mother, and basketball is my game for sure. I also went to Urson High School, and I just want to go ahead and continue to be a light for the Mahoning Valley in this area to continue to bring in some other opportunities for us.
Thank you. Katie.
Good morning. I'm Katie Cretella. I am the Director of Clinical Services at the Trumbull County Mental Health and Recovery Board. I am a lifelong resident of Trumbull County, completed my education at Youngstown State University, and have remained in this area and worked within the community between Trumbull and Mahoning County. In my role at the Mental Health and Recovery Board, I oversee mental health programming throughout Trumbull County, and oversee the programs through our contracted providers, and I lead the Trumbull County Suicide Prevention Coalition. So my goal is to always work to decrease the stigma among mental health treatment for those that are seeking mental health treatment, while increasing access and decreasing barriers.
Betsy.
Good morning. I'm Betsy Bresnahan. I am a marketing manager with DGPerry, which is a regional accounting firm based here in Canfield, Ohio. We support 8 offices out of our Canfield office and about 175 employees just right here. Our hub here is here in Youngstown, but we service 8 other locations. A little bit about me. I'm from the area originally. I'm a graduate of Boardman High School. For college, I went away to West Virginia University and moved to Chicago after graduation. Back in 2018, I moved back to the area. There's no place like home. I'm really proud to be from Youngstown, and the leader that I want to be is I really want to be an example of you can come back here. There's a lot of great opportunities here in Youngstown. people look at it as, hey, I want to go out and see something new, and that's great, but you can always come home, and there's a lot of great people here, a lot of great organizations here, and we welcome you back to Youngstown.
Very good. Tyler.
Hi, my name is Tyler Wolfe. I'm a regional manager for Winner Aviation. Winner Aviation is a business aviation on one side, do maintenance on private jets and maintenance and stuff on one. On the other side, that's where I primarily work. We work across the nation with different airlines to provide services on the ground handling side for customers traveling around the country. A little bit about myself. Leadership is definitely a passion of mine. I'm a John Maxwell coach, speaker, and trainer outside of work. My passion is to help develop people and even as a young leader, develop them into the leaders that they want to be and give them an example in their life, even when it's hard, quite honestly, leading as a young leader in today's day and age.
Awesome. Hi, I am Gina Peplow with Jobs for Ohio's graduates. We work with youth 14 to 24, overcome their barriers to employment and academic success. I am from Warren, born and raised. I graduated Warren Harding, then went to Youngstown State, and then I just finished my master's in December in management and leadership. So what I look forward to for leadership in this area is developing our youth beyond the barriers that are set in front of them. A lot of the youth I work with are 200% below the federal poverty guideline and low socioeconomic barriers where they don't have access to a lot of resources. I was one of those youth my whole life. So now that I can bring that back to them and say, you can move beyond where you're set up. It's not what you control under 18, it's what you do after 18 and how you build yourself and your life up after those situations come to you. So I look forward to continuing developing young leaders in our area.
Thank you. This is an awesome group of young leadership, not so young leadership, but you're obviously the next generation.
The level of collaboration and camaraderie that you can facilitate here with a bunch of passionate people, a lot of folks here, and hearing your stories is really awesome. That's really what kept me here.
We don't celebrate the wins enough in this region. I think that we like to think that we do, and I think as a perfect example, the people who know about the wins really celebrate them.
Youngstown is a blank canvas to do whatever you want to do whatever you want to do.
You know, you can't make change happen from afar. So stay here and build up the community that helped raise you, because you do have some sort of roots here. You do have some sort of want for this area, and if we want to make changes, we have to do it together from the younger side.
My eyes were opened up to how many resources there were in Youngstown, how much community support there is in Youngstown from other local businesses, how many local businesses there are in Youngstown, and it really just gave me that green light to be like, I can do this.
In the leadership world, people don't often leave organizations, they leave leaders. And if we're not going to be the leaders in this city that can promote that change, then we'll never have change.
But for the people who live here, I can say personally, I'm very proud to be from Youngstown.
For the most part, I think people are very active on celebrating and supporting the local businesses, but there needs to be more. Everybody always wants to go to the bigger cities, but for me, I stayed family, and I also stayed because I'm very passionate about Youngstown.
I actually have two redevelopment projects that I worked on in the city of Youngstown. It's a very tough city to survive in as a business because it's poverty-stricken. However, the support from the community is the only thing that keeps me waking up and pushing every single day.
We have a significant amount of young nonprofits. These organizations that have been working very heavily to improve the quality of life here. And how can we integrate young adults into these boards and these committees and kind of get some fresh ideas, some fresh thoughts flowing?
You have access to this, you have access to this, and all of us together make a body. So that's going to be able to move. Right now, if I was going to be able to say anything, I would say Youngstown has been flying with one wing because the whole body isn't incorporated. So the main thing we could be able to do in order to fix it, in my opinion, is going to be education.
Instead of reinventing the wheel and having a ton of different events for the same thing. Make it big, reach a larger audience, get the message across, still have your organization, show how you might be different in your own ways, but come together just to reach that larger audience.
It's just our job as leaders, day in and day out, to continue to wear our local team's uniform and sing the fight song.
I hear complaints all the time from college students of companies that won't hire them because they don't have experience. Well, how are you supposed to get experience if you never get your first job? So they move. Nobody wants to give them a shot at it. And I can relate to that. I mean, I'm 30 now, and quite honestly, the generation above us still, I don't feel like, listens to us most of the time.
How many people know offhand, without really doing the research, the grants that are available in the Appalachian region for first-time home buyers, or when you graduate college?
As someone who works in the education system, what I see from the older generation is the lack of trying to understand the younger generation.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
Who's the only local bank with a mobile mortgage app? Farmers. Download the app to contact your lender, calculate payments, securely scan and upload documents, and check the status of your loan. Fiercely local, fiercely loyal, Farmers.